Here we go. Tickets for the Indiana Fever Game Carver Hawkeye Arena sold out in, oh, wait a minute, it's been updated. Half an hour on Thursday.
Tickets sold out in under an hour, and people are now paying hundreds of dollars just to watch a preseason game.
There is a $4,009 ticket available right here, sideline B.
Meanwhile, a back-to-back WNBA champion struggles to offload seats for just $19.
On Vivid Seats, there are tickets available for $36 right now. StubHub, here's a $29 ticket.
Sounds impossible, but that's exactly what's happening with Caitlyn Clark's return to Iowa. Today, we're uncovering the real reason behind this extraordinary hype and how one rising star is shaking up the entire league before she's even officially there. Ticket scalpers saw the gold mine early on. At face value, seats for a standard WNBA preseason game tend to be affordable. But the moment Clark's name appeared on the promo poster, those affordable tickets disappeared in a flash. Within hours, resale platforms showed prices skyrocketing into the hundreds, even well over $500 for prime spots. Some seats that would have gone untouched in previous years were suddenly hotter than anything else in town. Meanwhile, out in Las Vegas, home to the reigning WNBA champions, the vibe was way different. The Las Vegas Aces, led by A'ja Wilson, had every right to expect big crowds. They're winners, they're flashy, and Vegas is no stranger to star-studded events. Yet Aces tickets for their own preseason game lingered at an all-time low of $19. Even more shocking, the stands still weren't filling up. It was as if fans collectively shrugged and said, "Meh, we'll pass." This stark contrast quickly became the talk of sports forums, radio segments, and social media timelines. How could the best team in the league with multiple championships fail to sell out seats that cost less than a quick takeout meal, while a newcomer's exhibition game was commanding the budget of a luxury night out? Some fans joked that maybe A'ja Wilson forgot to activate her Ticketmaster account. Others wondered if the marketing department fell asleep at the wheel. Yet the more people dug into the phenomenon, the clearer it became. This wasn't about poor marketing. It was about Clark's magnetic pull. Whenever a new player bursts onto the scene and eclipses established stars, tension is practically inevitable. Whispers began floating around that certain veteran players in the WNBA felt a twinge of resentment. Now, out of nowhere, a rookie was sucking up the headlines and overshadowing their achievements. Some fans dismissed this as baseless gossip, while others pointed to cryptic social media posts. A few WNBA insiders claimed to have overheard grumbling in locker rooms about the league's promotional focus. "They only care about Clark now," was the alleged refrain. One rumor even suggested that top brass at the league office had directed marketing teams to spotlight Clark in promotional materials more than any other player. It's not that most players hate Clark personally. The real source of frustration seems to be the feeling that veterans who paved the way are suddenly invisible. They want to keep the momentum going, but also make sure it's not at their expense. It's no secret that the WNBA has long fought for mainstream relevance. Television deals have improved, but they're still dwarfed by the coverage men's basketball receives. However, since Clark's arrival, networks have scrambled to air more segments featuring her highlights, college reels, and interviews. Sponsors who once focused solely on star veterans like A'ja Wilson or Kelsey Plum are rumored to be redirecting budgets toward Clark-themed campaigns. Some marketing professionals argue that this is a golden opportunity for the league to capitalize on a wave of fresh interest. After all, if one player can generate so much attention, it could elevate everyone else by association. Others worry that placing too much emphasis on a single rookie is a precarious gamble. If she has an off-season, battles injuries, or simply doesn't meet sky-high expectations, the entire narrative could deflate. On one side, there are the Clark loyalists, a new generation of viewers who may have discovered women's basketball through viral college highlights. These supporters can be fiercely defensive, claiming Clark is the rightful face of the league. On the other side, you have longtime fans who cherish the players who have carried the league's banner for years. They argue it's disrespectful to pivot so quickly away from veteran stars who've put in the time. Conversations online often spiral into heated territory. with each side accusing the other of missing the bigger picture. While ticket sales and marketing are tangible indicators of Clark's influence, her impact extends far beyond arena seats. Across social media, you'll see viral debates about the future of women's sports, fueled in part by Clark's unstoppable momentum. Some fans confess they had little to no interest in women's basketball until they watched her college performances. Now they're tuning in weekly, checking game schedules, and even picking up WNBA merchandise. This cultural shift isn't happening in a vacuum. More young girls are picking up basketballs, fueled by Clark's highlight reels and the realization that women's hoops can be just as exhilarating as any men's matchup. Some high school coaches report increased attendance at girls' basketball games, chalking it up to the general hype around powerful female athletes. Others note a rise in endorsements for women's sports across the board, speculating that companies sense a major trend. Still, a subset of observers remain skeptical. They question whether this phenomenon is truly sustainable. After all, the WNBA has seen bursts of excitement before, only for mainstream interest to dip when the novelty faded. But something feels different this time. Perhaps it's the sheer magnitude of the ticket sale numbers, or maybe it's the new wave of fans who seem genuinely invested. Either way, the conversation around women's basketball has reached a decibel level few anticipated, and that alone might be a win, no matter what the future holds. Suddenly, the WNBA is facing challenges it never had on this scale, namely, how to handle demand so great that preseason games sell out in minutes. Some folks wonder if it's time for certain teams to play in bigger arenas. The Fever's decision to showcase Clark in her college arena proved brilliant for hype, but it also raised questions about whether thousands more tickets could have been sold had they chosen an even larger venue. Is the league missing out on potential revenue? Talk has also surfaced about retooling broadcast schedules. In the past, marquee matchups often featured well-known veterans, but with a rookie commanding so much attention, executives are reportedly scrambling to ensure her games are front and center, especially on national TV. This sort of shift can breed resentment if other high-performing teams feel snubbed. And it's not just about airtime, it's about endorsement deals, merchandise partnerships, and personal branding opportunities. Looking further ahead, some dream of expansions or new franchises emerging in cities that see spiking interest, largely credited to Clark. Others remain cautious, warning that a single player's meteoric rise could fade if she experiences a slump. The one point everyone can agree on is that the WNBA is at a crossroads. They can either harness this unprecedented momentum to elevate the entire league, or they can funnel everything into one star and risk alienating core supporters if anything goes awry. As with any sudden shakeup in sports, rumors abound. One particularly wild story suggests that certain scalpers or ticket brokers had inside knowledge of Clark's mania and scooped up huge blocks of seats the second they went on sale. Allegedly, they were confident they could flip them for massive profits. The fact that resale prices soared might actually support that theory. Some fans, outraged by being locked out of official sales, accuse these scalpers of ruining the chance for genuine supporters to attend. If proven true, it's yet another sign of just how valuable anything associated with Clark has become. Other whispers claim that certain top-level WNBA figures are pushing for a marketing strategy that intentionally sidelines mention of the Aces, focusing most promotional materials on the Fever or any team that faces Clark. Fuel for the rumor mill also comes from cryptic tweets by reporters who hinted behind-the-scenes tension. They say some players, who once proudly championed the league, are starting to feel overshadowed. Whether that tension boils over into public feuds remains to be seen, but the temperature in the rumor pot is definitely rising. The possibility that a rookie's hype could drive players apart is a scenario no one truly wants, yet it looks like a dramatic storyline waiting to unfold. People keep waiting for Clark to publicly address the negativity. Will she reassure fans she respects the veterans and that she wants to elevate the league as a whole? Will the Aces' leading stars speak candidly about their frustration, or will they double down on emphasizing their own achievements? This uncertainty only heightens anticipation for any press conferences, interviews, or social media posts from the main personalities involved. All eyes are on Caitlyn Clark, and every move she makes feels like a turning point for women's basketball. She's selling out arenas that once struggled to fill half their seats, leaving established champions in her wake. Whether this signals a lasting revolution or just a fleeting craze is up for debate. But one thing is certain, the WNBA has never been more alive, and everyone is watching to see who rises and who gets left behind.